Hey, hey, you're listening to Mic'd Up with Mama Shaun, the podcast where purpose meets play and passion turns into power. I am your host, Rashawn Webb, but around here they call me Mama Shaun. The name was first spoken by a little boy who called me Mom before I even understood what that title meant. But now I carry it with pride as a mentor, a coach, and a mother to many. From running my child care center and my child care training company, coaching CEOs and leading with faith, I am here to help you grow with grace, build with purpose, and lead from the heart. So let's get mic'd up and dig in. Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back. This is Mama Shaun. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to my show, Mic'd Up with Mama Shaun, where we talk anything and everything about love, life, leadership, childcare, children, all the things. But today I have a special guest joining me on my show today. And I am more than excited to introduce to you. Um, it's almost like only having one child or a child that won't let you have another child. I have my one and only mentee on my show this morning, Miss Jasmine Davis. Jasmine, welcome to the show.
Hi, bestie. I'm so happy to be here.
Aw. Now, Jasmine and I'm going to let her tell the story, but I had a podcast a couple years ago um, called The Early Childhood Coach with a Childcare Experience. And I want to say she was like my first guest, and it was her breakout moment that we to this day still talk about. And so I'm going to let her introduce herself. Jasmine?
So, my name is Jasmine. I am, look, I'm just a school teacher. I think that's what I told you on the
Mm-hmm.
first podcast. So, I am a ECE teacher at heart. My mind is still in the classroom, although my body and skills are now inside of the training world. I am a multi site trainer. I've done trainings in Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma. So I'm just going planting little seeds everywhere I go. But back to our story that initially started all of this. So I was a guest on your podcast, and I know I tell you this all the time, but I thought you were spam, Mama Shun. Like, I just thought it was too good to be true to see an African American lady doing all of the amazing things that you were doing. So I got on the podcast, and this was after I had actually lost my second grade math job that I had. So I ended up going home with my mom, who started a daycare for me over 30 years ago because she didn't want to send me to that dirty D word that we call daycare. So she started
Yeah.
her own. So I left and I became a partner with my mom. So when we did your podcast, I was this humble, meek little thing. I'm just in the classroom. I love teaching. I love infant and toddlers. And I distinctly remember you saying, "You are too humble. You know a lot
Oh.
of information. You need to become a trainer." And I said, "A what? A trainer?" And you said, "Yes, you need to join the registry." I didn't know what the registry was, but I wrote down everything you told me I needed to do. And from there, just a lot of doors and opportunities started opening once I stepped out of the classroom and embraced my trainer uh, aura and skills that I didn't even know I had.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Wow.
you kind of lit a fire inside of me that is still burning bright. I think, man, time flies. How many years would you say that was?
Oh, girl. I would probably say maybe like 6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is
Because
6
it does not
years.
feel like 6 years.
No, it doesn't. It feels like we have been joined at the hip for years and years and years.
Yeah, well, look, I guess when you're having fun, they say time flies or whatever the saying is.
Yes, time flies when you're having fun. Absolutely. And I tell you what, we have a lot of fun and have a lot of um, discussions and conversations about everything. And the relationship that her and I have go past our love for this profession. We talk about everything, and sometimes you just need that person that you could talk to that's going to listen and not judge you. And so we have a lot of people in our profession that have other lifestyles and do other things, but I can honestly and respectfully say that Jasmine has her personality, she has her love for this profession, but she's amazing at what she does. She's good at what she does. And I remember the first training she did out in the open. And
Oh,
I told her
wow.
I'm going to swing by her class because we were in, I think, Allen, Texas for a TLCCA conference. And I swung by for a few seconds because I didn't want to make her nervous and everything. And so I swung by, gave her a quick hug and a good luck. And I left to go do my session. And she's been killing it ever since. And so I'm very, very proud of her as my only mentor, my only mentee, my only baby. I'm very, very proud of her. She won't let me have nobody else.
Look, maybe
And
when I turn 10, we can I get
we
a
can adopt.
sibling,
We
maybe
can
in four
adopt.
years. Maybe.
Oh, but we talk every day because there's always something going on. And so I'm very proud of her, and I tell her that all the time. And anything I do, I share with her. Anything she does, she shares it with me. And she's an extremely intelligent African American female that I'm very, very proud of. So today's topic is about from guidance to growth, a mentor mentee conversation. So we're just going to sit and chat for a good 30 minutes just to kind of pull everyone into, connecting with someone that you feel close to. And I think everyone needs a mentor. Everyone needs someone that, we're never perfect people. And so we always need someone that we can bounce our ideas off of that does it sound good, far fetched? Does it sound crazy? And so we always bounce all ideas, relationships, traveling, just all kinds of things off of one another. So let's see. First question was, how do you navigate your career at this time? Like, what are some things you do to navigate all of the things that you do? Because you do a lot. And so, how do you navigate it all?
Well, look, I used to do a lot. Now I feel like my role is just now to be the vessel. So I'm not navigating anything. I'm allowing the Lord, the man above, to kind of navigate and guide me. In this season, because when you first met me, I had my journal. I was writing down
Yep.
every idea I had. I
Yep.
was pushing every idea I had,
Yes.
and I was exhausted doing so. And I always
Yes.
said that God is my CEO, but I feel like now in this season in 2026, he's the CEO, but he's also the pilot, and I'm just following him. So
Yes.
he's putting me in spaces that I deserve to be in. He's putting my name in rooms that I have yet to enter. So
Yes.
I'm just following him, honestly. And you know firsthand
Yep.
what I mean because I
Yes.
have had my hands in a lot of different things, and I'm
Yes.
a bossy person. So I like to be in control, I like to lead things.
Yes.
But currently, things have been leading me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just allowing the Lord to take me where He wants me to go. So just
And I love
trusting,
that.
yeah, and just trusting Him because at first it felt weird to
Yes.
kind of just let go of the reins and not even take a back seat to get in the trunk
Yeah.
because the Lord is like, Jasmine, you are in my way. So
Yes.
I've just
Yes.
kind of been getting out of my own way and letting Him do His thing and work His strings.
I love that. So, what all do you do? Because, in this industry, we're both in early childhood. And in this industry, I always tell people your tentacles can go in so many different directions in this profession. And so, tell the people, what all do you do?
Well, I look, I'm a relationship builder. I'm a storyteller. I'm
Okay.
a culture curator. I
Oh,
feel like I'm a fun advocate.
okay.
But when I'm on the stage, when I'm professionally, I am a presenter and trainer. My topics that I love that fill my cup are burnout prevention and stress management.
Mm.
I'm also a CPR instructor.
Mhm.
Because in all of the educational settings that I've worked in, safety and compliance has been something that has remained steady and constant throughout each and every setting. And
Yes.
I've never taken a fun CPR class. So on my journey, I became a CPR instructor, and now my goal is to educate as many individuals as I can so that they can know what to do in case of an emergency when minutes matter. So I just want to
Mm.
give people a peace of mind during these situations.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So yes, she's being very modest.
I'm not,
Um.
I was going to keep going. Look, I'm
Oh, I'm sorry.
also, because when we, 6 years ago, I believe is when my book came out. So
Yes.
I'm also a children's book author. Little Feeney's Big Adventure is still on Amazon. I've been thinking about writing another one. I feel like it's time to add to my collection.
Okay.
And I'm also a just a learning resource hub. So if you need fun activities, if parents don't know how to, you know, incorporate play-based learning at home, I also offer resources for parents as well.
I love that. But she's still being modest. So, she's trained for Texas Rising Star. She's trained for the TLCCA, Texas Licensed Child Care Association. She's
Hmm.
trained for Quality Pathways, which is a licensing conference in Arlington, Texas. And
I
I
trained for
believe
Texas AC.
and Texas AEYC as well.
Uh-huh.
And she trained with NACI in AEYC as well. So she has her hands in quite a lot of things, and she's very humble and modest about celebrating her accomplishments. I have to say, she's not very she's not very out there and boastful about her accomplishments, which is good. So she's very, very modest. So I'm very proud of her for that. So let's go back in time. What made you decide to make me your mentor? Like, how did that, in your mind, how did that happen? And what made you decide, or what made you open up to being a mentee?
Well, like I said, I did think you were spam. So when we finally connected and you invited me on your podcast, the connection for me, it was just unmatched. I don't know. It was like peanut butter to my jelly.
Mm-hmm.
So by the end of the conversation, I was like, do you mentor? And I can't remember what you said, but I asked, do you mind being my
Yep.
mentor?
You did.
And you was like, okay, sure. And of course, when you said it, I thought, well, we'll just see, and
Mm-hmm.
then after she says yes, that's when she's going to charge me like $2,500 or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
the $2,500 dollar invoice never came. And I just felt like you and I just had an instant connection. And
Yep.
I love your energy. You're also very modest and humble and have your hands in a lot of things. So I just figured this is the type of mentor I need that can kind of understand me. I can understand you, and we complement each other.
Yes, we do.
And I was just like, why not? And closed mouths don't get fed, because I really was like, my mom was like, no, she's not gonna mentor you. She's gonna charge. And I said, oh, well, I'll just ask her anyway.
Right?
And here we are 6 years later, and
Yep.
I'm having the time of my life.
I am too. And you're right. The invoice never came. And I'm not going to say that now going forward if we adopt. But you're my one and only, and I meet people all the time, and you I will never charge. Because we were both at humble beginnings. My stuff didn't really take off till around that time. I had been training for 6 7 years before then, but being having you in my space has been a blessing. And I have to say, I'm not the kind of mentor that you do what I say do, you whatever. I just put out there what I know, what I experience, what I live as a professional storyteller. I just
Mhm.
put it out there, and it's up to her to grab with whatever um, nuggets fall from this story. And I think some people expect the mentee to listen to every word they say, not me, because it's like you eat the meat and spit out the bones. You pick what works for you and you let go of what doesn't. And anything I've ever said, just in a casual, we've never set up mentor calls, we've never done any appointments or anything. It's just become a part of our everyday.
Mhm.
And she has taken off, and any ideas she has, she bounce them off. And in a mentee, when you call someone your mentor, you are entrusting their expertise with your expertise and with your knowledge and what your needs are. And everything we've always said, it's always been in confidence or any of those things. And she's whatever I said, she took for whatever it meant to her. It's never been a demand. It's never been, this is what you need to do, and you don't ever listen to me. And it's never been like that. And a lot
Mm-mm.
of mentors have done that. Some have done it to me, and they didn't realize it, and I just dropped them. But she is the mentor the mentee that's coachable. And so my next question to you is, what makes you coachable? What makes you the kind of mentee that you listen to instruction or you listen to suggestion and you don't fight it?
Mm, that is a great question, Bestie. I think when it feels natural, like it did between you and I had
Mhm.
nothing to fight. I had no ill feelings. My nervous system was still regulated during our conversation. It just felt right. Like it was
Yeah.
almost like love at first sight. But a lot of people will tell me I don't really listen.
Oh,
Look, I'm a horrible listener, but I am also a lifelong learner. And you
yes.
just have so much to give and so much to tell. And it's like I learn from you on an everyday basis, whether it's early education, politics, and, the capital talk. Just you're a wealth of knowledge, and I'm just like a sponge. I want to know it all. I feel like if you're not learning, you're not growing. And
Yes.
I feel like I set myself up to be around you to continue to learn. So when you have come to me with different situations and we've talked about certain things, not
Yep.
once did I say, you know, I don't want to hear what Rashawn have to say because I welcome your opinion and your voice, and
Mhm.
you've never said it in a way like I'm the mentor. You
Mhm.
do it this way because this is how I do it. But
Mhm.
it's always been reflective. It's always
Mhm.
been up to me, the course that I choose,
Mhm.
and you were just along for the ride. Now, it may
Yep.
have been a wild ride. Look, I don't think put your seatbelt on, but I just think the love that I have for learning and growing, it just makes me want to learn. And you know me, I'm not going to just accept or learn from just any old body.
That's true. I'm the
But
same way.
I felt it in my spirit, and that's what I listened to, and it was just natural from the
Oh.
beginning.
Oh, I love that. Do you consider yourself an humble person?
Uh, sure. I think so. I think
Okay.
professionally, I am very humble. Because I'm a team player. I just want to come in and kind of do my job. But now I feel like I'm being forced into a space to where it's kind of time to turn it up a bit.
Yeah.
It's time for us to start popping what I know I can pop.
Yes.
But I am humble because I just want to remain in the Lord's grace. Like I don't want to get too big for myself and all of a sudden I'm, the best trainer in Texas and I'm taking calls and Rashawn, can you're my assistant now. Whereas,
Right.
like I don't ever want to get like that. I want to remain
Right.
humble and just remember why I'm doing it and who I'm doing it for. So I think that plays
Absolutely.
a large part.
I love that. And something you just mentioned about as a trainer having all of these. take my calls, be my assistant, all these demands. When we're both in the same space, we're both like, hey, do you need something? You good? You got what you need? Um, you got, we're both making sure that both of us have what we need.
Mhm.
We've had several opportunities to train in the same space, and we go back and how was your session? Okay, how was your session? What are some things you could have done different? And I'm always asking her like, hey, how did it go? What did you feel was a good thing? Because for me, I train trainers, and that's what my master's degree is in. So I'm always
Mhm.
looking for ways to give her more information that will help her be an even better trainer, and b, I'm always looking for ways that I can improve myself, because I'm also a lifelong teacher, and it doesn't matter who it's from. There's always
Mhm.
something to learn. And so, with that being said, what are some lessons you've already learned so far about this training world that you're in?
Ooh, some lessons that I have learned.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I will say the number one lesson that I've learned would be build a network.
Yes,
I started with a mentor, and at the beginning, I was a nervous wreck. I would find you and
she
I would
was.
cling to
Yes,
you, and I would be in
yes,
your pocket until it was time to go to my session.
yes.
But then I think it was at Pathway, and I met Miss Cheryl at the Tekken table, and I joined Tekken, and they became like a saving grace, especially with you being in San Antonio and me being in Dallas. If I didn't see
Mm-hmm.
you, I would just do my session and I would leave.
Yeah.
But I remember us talking, and you were like, "Well, you have to engage and stick around, stay around." And I'm just like, "Oh, Lord, I don't not want to." But
Mm-hmm.
once I found my people and I had my network,
Yes.
I'm able to see familiar faces. Now I stay
Mm-hmm.
at the conferences, a little bit longer. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
different meetups and interacting with a lot of people that I normally wouldn't have interacted with because I was too shy. Like people don't
Yes.
know that I'm shy. So that would be something that I learned. You can't do it by yourself. Build a network. That way you feel comfortable
Mm-hmm.
and safe.
Yes.
Um, I will say another lesson that I have learned is, which is easier said than done, but get out of your head.
Mm.
I would say get out of your head and leave it all on the stage. Because I feel like when I first started, I was practicing, I was writing note cards, I was running lines before in the car, just a lot
Mm-hmm.
of prep and a lot of repeating and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
just making myself
Mm-hmm.
kind of nervous. And then once I
Mm-hmm.
got on the stage, I forgot half of what I just said and had been drilling into my head for, the past month.
Yeah.
Because I used to prepare for trainings at least a month in advance. But now it's, find a style that works for you, whether it's
Yeah.
humor, whether it's pictures, whether it's both. Find a style that works for you and perfect it and go out on the stage and leave it on the floor.
That's true. Leave it on the floor, and she does. We both do,
Mm-hmm.
and we love it. That's a part of who we are as trainers and presenters. Um, let's talk about moments of doubt and fear, or almost quitting. What did that look like for you, and how did you overcome it?
Mm, look, a time where I almost quit, and what did it look like? Uh, so what it looks like for me when I'm getting ready to quit, and you've been on the phone with me during those emotions and moments because it's
Yes.
just a moment.
Yep.
But I'm not a happy camper. I can be I'm not speaking life. I'm speaking doubt. I'm negative.
Mhm.
I can be a little rough around the edges, especially when I'm just in a season or facing a situation where I feel like I didn't come out on top because I'm
Mhm.
used to coming out on top.
Mhm.
I'm used to
Mhm.
being able to either I can outwork anybody to get to the top, or I'm going to use my natural abilities to get to the top. So when I am in spaces where I'm at the bottom or I'm feeling low and I almost quit, it looks just like everybody else's. It's dark, it's lonely, it's, not the best. But now I'm learning to
Mhm.
turn my dark moments into moments to praise God. So now instead of being ugly or saying, some of my favorite lines, I will not
Yep.
say them on the Mama Shaun podcast, but
Nope, she will not.
I'm replacing it with, well, thank God, Lord, they're lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe you're saving me. It's just I've been spinning it into a positive. So now I want my moments where I'm feeling low to feel like God's protection. So that's
Absolutely.
kind of what I'm
Absolutely.
working on, and you've seen me work on it like
Yes.
within the
Very
last month.
hard.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
know it feels like a 180, but
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
just,
Mhm.
you know, once you are anchored in God, no low moment is a low moment. It's just, a trial, tribulation, and the Lord is going to use me and use that
Absolutely.
situation.
Yes. The powerful part of listening or being a listener is feeling like you're behind.
Mm,
How has your confidence changed in 6 years from where it started till now? How has it changed?
man. Now, I will say I wasn't the most confident 6 years ago. I know a lot of people say,
Okay.
"Oh, Jasmine, you're lying." No, seriously. Like, I just was putting on my face like I was used to doing because I'm shy. I can be socially awkward. I'm an only child. So I'm just used to showing up because I have to. Now,
Yeah.
6 years later, after I've done, internal work, I have worked on listening. I have slowed down my talking a little bit because if you play this podcast compared to our first one, I was probably talking a
Mhm.
million miles per minute. Um, I worked on my outer appearance because I know we talk about the
Yep.
inner and the inner work.
Yep.
It's important, but how you show up and how people perceive you is also important. Well, it is to
Right.
me. So I did work on my look as well. That way I'm able to show up confidently in spaces where other women are looking their best, they're looking good, and I don't want to feel diminished or small. I want to feel like I am aligned with them and I'm in a space where
Right.
I belong. So I'm showing up confident. I have to remember who made me and why I'm here. And I've put in a lot of work to actually show up and say, hey, I do this and I do it well. Humbly, of
She,
course.
yes, 100%. I totally agree with her on that. Totally agree. All right. What is one piece of advice you would give your old self?
I would give myself actually two pieces of advice. I would
Okay.
tell old Jasmine to slow down and smell the roses. Because I've done a
Mm.
lot of different things. Like, remember when we did Texas AC? And I was
Yes.
just moving so fast
Yeah.
and I was so
Yeah.
nervous to where when it was
Yep.
over, I said, I didn't even get to bask in my moment.
Yeah.
The space was filled with anxiousness and nervousness
Yes.
to where once it was done, I felt relieved. But I just want to start slowing down and
Yeah.
appreciating every moment that I'm given. And if I am nervous, if I'm anxious, spin it and use it as a positive. You're excited to be in this
Absolutely.
space. You're excited to present in front of, I think my room held like 400 or 500 people, and this is at the beginning of my career. So
Mhm.
yeah, I need to slow down
Mhm.
and enjoy the smell the roses. And then my last piece of advice would be to mm, if you're going to show up and take up space.
Mm.
Because I spent a lot of times in some incredible rooms that I didn't even know were spaces that I shouldn't have even been in yet. But
Mhm.
maybe I didn't say anything, or maybe I felt like I didn't belong, so I was quiet. So
Yeah.
now, if I'm in a room, I want everyone to know I'm there, respectfully, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the other part to that of what she did not say was I think it was towards the end of the conference and we were at Kalahari and we were just kind of basking in the glow of everything. And she was having her moment, and I said, "Let's go into
And we got on the
the main big
stage.
room."
Yep.
And so I put her up on the stage, and I just had her to bask in it. And I asked her my normal questions: How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? And she ate that up, and she looked so good up there. And she walked around, and she's like, "Okay, now you go." And so I went, and we took pictures, and
Mhm.
on the keynote stage, and we were claiming our keynote moments.
Yep.
We were claiming those stages. And the only way to claim those things is to be in that moment and put it out there. People will say manifesting it, put in the atmosphere. I leave it to the Lord.
Mhm.
I let him
Mhm.
know this is the desire of my heart. This is what I want to do, and it's happening. And so that was a moment that I was able to help what I would like to think I did was help her get into the mindset of this. This is you too. Not it can be. This is you.
Mhm.
You might not Your platform might not be as big, but you still have one. You still have an audience. All those things. So, and she's doing amazing. She is doing everything she said she wanted to do when we first got together, and she's setting it on fire. Um, one other thing, well, a few more things. Best advice that you ever ignored at first.
Mm. The best advice, probably, I would say, don't take things personal.
Ooh.
Because when the person actually shared that with me, I'm thinking, well, I'm so passionate. I care about this so much that it is personal.
Mhm.
But I'm learning that when you treat things personal, then your biases kind of come to the forefront. Your fears, things, your subconscious can lead. So now I don't want to take things personal, but I do want to take things as they are. And if they don't
Right.
work out in my favor or, how I would like them to do, let it roll off like water off a duck's back.
I love that. I love that. Rapid fire question. I'm going to give you five.
Ooh,
Um, so the rule is the first word that comes to your mind is the response. The response. All right.
okay.
Um, Let me see here because this is literally coming off the top of my head.
Where all the best
Um,
ideas come from.
I know, girl. Would you ever keynote on a big stage or a small stage?
We going big, bestie. Go big or go
Oh,
home.
okay. Um, would you ever keynote overseas?
Yes,
Okay.
would
Um,
love to. Call Bad
let's.
Bunny.
I'm gonna see him in a couple weeks, so I'll let him know. Um, let's see. Ooh, Valentine's Day, yes or no?
Always yes.
Okay. Um, if you could choose another profession, what would it be?
Ooh, I want to be like a private investigator or a blood spatter analyst or something.
Oh, interesting. And last but not least, last but not least, uh, huh.
And bestie, I'm my own Valentine, right? I just didn't want
I
anybody
know.
to, misconstrue. Self love over no love, okay?
That's true. That is true. That is true. Last question. Um, hmm. Dang. God, I can't think. Last question. Would you do a training on a cruise or would you do it by land?
On a cruise.
And why wouldn't you? Everybody needs a
Right.
cruise conference.
Everybody. Look,
Girl,
well, are you asking to be on the planning committee or
no.
oh,
Who?
you.
Girl, no.
Oh, help me plan a
Absolutely
help
not.
me plan a conference cruise.
Absolutely not.
As long as you
I'm,
look, as long as you
I'll
come and
help you.
speak, that's all I need.
Hey, we have adjoining cabins.
I love to. The only person I'll join a cabin with.
I know, right? Okay, y'all having access to our private conversations.
Right. I was just
Oh,
sorry.
alrighty, guys. Y'all know what time it is. It's your mic'd up moment for the episode. Your mic'd up moment for today is simply this: find a mentor that you trust. Find a mentor that you know that you can lean into, because you have to trust your mentor. You have to trust, not necessarily everything they say is golden, but you trust the personality and the heart that they have. You have to really join your, I mean, it's almost like a marriage, so to speak, or a relationship you're building with this person. And I have to say that I never considered myself a mentor. I'm not good with titles, because so many people have all these titles and they misconstrue all of it. And so for me, at the end of the day, I'm just Rashawn, Mama Shaun to some, to many, but I am a mentor to Jasmine, and I don't ever consider myself one. I just be like, hey, this is what it is. This is what this is what some things are. And she takes heed and she listens and she picks up and grabs what is good for her. So find someone that you can do that with and listen. Don't just have a mentor and then not use them just to say you have one.
Mhm.
So many people love the clout with having a mentor, but they don't ever truly take that mentor for who they really are, and you're doing yourself and them a disservice.
So right.
So Jasmine, in our closing, um, where can they find you, or if they want to know who you are, if they're interested in knowing about your journey on being a mentee, how can they reach you? She also does travel agency too. I'm just throwing that out there. But where can they find you?
So you can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn, Jasmine Davis, Jasmine. And if you would love to see any of my training content or where I will be training next, please follow and like Zenith Learning and Development Institute on Facebook and Instagram. And that's
Oh,
Zen as in Nancy, ITH.
mm. All right, guys, y'all heard it first. Y'all can always find her on LinkedIn. You can find Zenith on Instagram, and you can find her also on Facebook. So use those resources. Use the knowledge that even if you're interested in being a mentee to someone, you can reach out to Jasmine and she can help you navigate what that looks like, because I feel if you're going to be in a certain space, you need someone to guide you.
Hmm.
So, we're going to conclude this episode. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you had a great time on the show. Jasmine, take us out with some words of encouragement.
So I want to start by saying I love you
Oh,
and I love who you are becoming. Every day and every morning that we talk, I just see the light shining bigger and brighter. Even though I know you're still kind of being all humble and modest, but like we said, show up in these spaces, do the best that you can. That's all anybody can ever ask for.
yep. There you got it, guys. You heard it here first. If this show spoke to you and you are interested in more content, please leave a comment. Drop a comment. Drop a subscription button. Drop something. Drop nuggets. Do something. Right? Let us know that this show meant something to you. And as always, I'm Mama Shaun, and stay blessed and stay positive. Bye.
Bye.